Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh release from Special Hobby. So this is a kit in 1/72 scale and it copies Gloster Meteor F.8, and that's quite an unusual version. You can notice that this is F.8 prone pilot version. It means we have this special nose section in the aircraft, and I guess it might be an interesting build for modelers who like some unusual versions of the famous airplanes. So here we have a commercial sample, and it means you will get exactly the same stuff as what you will see in this video review. So we are going to open them together and check what is actually supplied in this kit. And first of all, we can notice really beautiful box art. It looks quite nice, and box size is typical for these kits from Special Hobby. Here you can see comparison with my hand, and on the side we have some, let's say, minimum of the information. There is nothing on the back side because it's a top opening box. So let's open it, and in the meantime let me remind you that you can support us financially. We have special support button or donate button on our website, so if you would like to send us money via PayPal, it's quite easy thing to do, and of course you will decide how much we will get. Or you can join our YouTube membership, it is here, so it gives you various benefits, and you can even get a free kit every month, which is really cool bonus in my opinion. And of course all these proceeds will be used for new photo and video equipment, which will actually improve our photo and video reviews. So what do we have here is the assembly manual and all parts packed into the same plastic bag. Obviously we will start with plastic elements and then gradually we will move on to the assembly manual so that we can check what is actually printed there. So I'm opening this plastic bag, just give me a sec. So what do we have here? First of all, we start with this gray plastic frame, and in case you saw previous reviews with Meteor, these parts might be familiar to you because they were also included in these kits. And you can notice we have two wing hubs, we also have various minor elements molded in the middle, and straight away you can notice, for example, landing gear wheels, they should be glued out of two halves, so be ready for this. And we can zoom even further so that you can see what we actually have on the wing, for example. So here we have recessed panel lines, as you can see it fits into our frame. Next we continue with various parts, so let's start from this side. So here we have various elements for the engine and landing gear, and of course engines are not detailed inside, so don't even think about it, but still it's cool that manufacturer decided to copy at least these walls with some minor pre-molded features. As you remember, I said that main landing gear wheels should be glued out of two halves, so be ready for that. And here we have another wing part. Again, all wing mechanization is pre-molded, so you won't be able to retract it on your model. Be ready for this as well. And if we flip it over, here comes another thing. We have guiding elements, and here as well. So it will be handy for let's say overall alignment of these parts, because as you can see they're quite big. Here you can see comparison with my hand. So it's better to have some guiding pins which will get you the proper fitment of these parts. Next we continue with another sprue. Well, I will show it afterwards. I would like to show first the frame with fuselage halves. So why I'm doing this, because here we have the old, let's say the old version of the fuselage halves, and you can notice that here we have nose cone pre-molded, and it's a single seater actually with this tail fin pre-molded also as well. And what you will have to do is to delete the nose area and install new parts which you will see on the new frame. But here let's zoom in because we will need some of these parts, so it's worth checking them as well. So again, we have recessed panel lines here. We also have some landing gear parts. Here we have some fuel tanks. And again, I remind that we have tail fin with rudder pre-molded here. Next we continue with some fuel tank parts, tail wings, and of course tail wing should be glued out of two halves because of the size of this element. Here you can see them, and there are no guiding elements whatsoever, so be ready for that. It might be a bit tricky for such parts. Okay, so now we move on to this sprue, which is completely new. It's a, let's say, feature of today's kit. So here it is. And from what I can notice, you will have to modify not only the nose area, but also the tail section as well. So here you can see these parts, and note that it should be glued out of 2 halves. The same can be said about tail area. And we have new tail wings for this type of the aircraft. This is quite interesting design. Let's flip it like this and zoom in even more, as much as we can, so that you can see all these elements closer. So molding quality seems to be fine. I don't see any possible issues here. And if you flip it over, inside we do not have any guiding elements, and that might be a bit tricky for some modelers without necessary experience. So I would rather advise such aircraft model for experienced modelers who are not that afraid of modifying original parts, and I hope you understand why. So let's zoom out. Okay, and that's all for gray plastic parts. Now we can move on to clear sprues. There are 2 plastic bags, actually 3 plastic bags. I didn't notice one of them. So here is the first one, and it features the canopy parts for the single seater. Obviously we will need more because we have 2 cockpits on this model. But molding quality seems to be fine. There are no masks included into this kit. So if you would like to cover it with masks, you will have to get some aftermarket set. Otherwise it might be a bit tricky to get the right paint finish. Next we have another small clear part here. It was packed into a separate plastic bag. Okay. And one more. Give me a sec. Okay, so here it is. It's another new canopy which will be placed on the nose area cockpit, which is typical for this version of the aircraft. But that's not all, because we also have the plastic bag with decals. So it's a resealable plastic bag. Just give me a sec, I will open it as well, and we will take a look at what is printed here. I need a moment. Okay, so here it is. Really nice printing quality. I'm not sure who printed it actually, but you can see that it looks quite fine. And of course all these symbols should be easy to work with, but I do not see any symbols or decals for the cockpit. So I guess in case you would like to have some instrument panel in your aircraft, you will have to do it with your own hands. Otherwise you are not covered out of the box. And last but not the least is the assembly manual. So let's zoom out a bit. Here it is. It's a typical color printed brochure from Special Hobby. We have short history note on the first page or on the cover. Here we continue with the parts map, and you can notice that all unused parts are marked with a red cross. So basically we want to use only one part here, so be careful not to lose any of these parts because you won't have spares. And of course the assembly process starts with the nose area. As you can see straight away, you have to modify original plastic. Red areas means that you will have to cut off these sections, and the same can be said about this tail section. Next we attach this new nose areas and tail fins to the aircraft fuselage parts. And of course you install these 2 cockpits into the necessary spots. You also work on the nose landing gear. And here we continue with installation of this landing gear on the aircraft. Then you join everything together and connect it together with a wing. So as I said, there are no engine parts here, so it won't be copied out of the box. And I think I remember that CMK released a resin set for this, so in case you would like to have it on your aircraft, you can use it. Here we continue with main landing gear legs and landing gear doors. We install canopy parts, fuel tanks. Next we have stencils placement. Actually, that's the only marking option here. So it's decals placement guide. Next we have add for some other 1/72 scale kits, and here are more of them. Some of them were reviewed on our YouTube channel, so I would recommend to check them as well. And as for today's kit, it should be already available. You can get it on Special Hobby website. Of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion about this set here in the comment section below. If you like this video, don't forget to press the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye!